Hey, Samuel Leeds here, and on this video I'm going to explain to you exactly how you can buy a house without any down payment. This may sound too good to be true to you, and if you think it's too good to be true and it can't be done, then normally you're probably right. However, I've done this countless times. I'm buying houses all the time, even today, without using any down payment. So does many of my success students, and you can see that on Winners on a Wednesday. The success students are so successful that they're making newspapers. So this really is real, this really is true. In fact, there's not just one way how to buy properties without a down payment. There's actually lots and lots of ways. For example, you can buy a house now, but pay for it later. Like, you can do this with a lot of stuff. You can buy cars this way, you can buy products this way, but you can actually buy houses on a buy now, pay later basis. But the great thing about buying houses that way is you get the rent and you benefit from the capital appreciation without even actually having paid for it. Another way is you can borrow money. So you can buy properties without using any of your money, without putting a down payment down yourself. But you can borrow other people's money or money from banks and different places. Again, this is an incredible strategy to buy properties without using any of your own money. We call it leverage. You can also joint venture. So you can find the house, you can do the work, you can bring the expertise to the table, and then you can find a joint venture partner who also wants to buy a property. He wants to buy a house as an investment. He's got the money, but that's all he's got. He hasn't got any knowledge, he doesn't have any credentials or street savviness around what's going on. Whereas if you bring that to the table, you don't have to bring the money to the table. You can also buy a property and you can put money in, but then add value to the property and then pull that money out, i.e. leaving no down payment in the property. So you really can do this, and there's many ways to do it. I'm doing it all the time. However, on this video, I wanted to specifically talk about joint ventures because I think this is one of the most exciting, simple ways to buy properties without using any of your own money. It also means that you haven't got to pay for it later. You haven't got to pay anybody back. You've literally got a property using none of your own money, and you've done that with a joint venture partner. So how does this work exactly? Well, firstly, in order to do this, you've got to be a good deal sourcer. You've got to be an expert at finding good property deals, because there's no way that anyone's going to want to put in all the money and give you 50% of the profits unless you've earned the right as a good property sourcer. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, if you're doing joint ventures, make sure that you've got firstly clarity with the joint venture partner, i.e. what's going to happen, what are the expectations, what are the exit strategies. So you've got clarification, but also get a solicitor to draw up a contract. One of the most stupid things is to do business with somebody, especially when you're talking tens, hundreds of thousands of pounds on the table without any solicitor involved, because when there's a lot of money on the table and properties always go up in value, you just want to be clear, you want to have got a solicitor involved, even if you're dealing with family. So let me give you a couple of examples. I'm going to give you an example, one with me being the person that was the expert that found the deal that didn't put any money in. And you might say, what idiot would put all the money in and give someone 50%? Like 50% for finding the deal? What an idiot. But then I'm going to give you another example of when I put all the money in and only took 50%. Because you see, joint ventures, although it can result in you buying property without any down payment, it doesn't mean that someone is getting screwed over. Property investing has a lot of money in it. It's a big pie, and you can afford to cut different pieces of the pie where there's lots of people that win. So we're not dealing with something where there's only a few pounds to be made and one person takes it all and the loser gets nothing. In property, there's always winners and winners, not winners and losers, because there's so much money to be made. So one example is, about 4 years ago, I'd just been on a buying spree. I bought a lot of properties. I just got married, so I'd spent a lot of money getting married and going on honeymoon and stuff like that. And I came across this absolute gem of a property. It was a 5-bed HMO, and this was in Wolverhampton. And the owner contacted me and said that they owned it in a partnership. The partnership had split up and they needed to get rid of this HMO real fast. They were selling it 27% below market value. The cash flow was incredible, and they said, Samuel, we don't want to mess around. We just want a quick sale. We've got some personal things going on. Will you buy it? So I negotiated the price, 27% below market value. The problem was I didn't have enough money to buy the property because I was literally cashless. I'd got money tied up in property, but I didn't have the money in my pocket or in my bank to go ahead and buy this property. So I said, look, if I was to give you X, would you accept? They said yes, and I'm now thinking, I haven't got the money. Now, I could have just passed it on to somebody else and said, I can't buy this house, it's a great house, it's a great investment, I'll pass it on to somebody and I'll charge a finder's fee. Maybe I'll make £3,000. But the problem was, I was too greedy to do that because I couldn't let this property slip from my fingertips, but at the same time, I didn't have any money. So what do you do when you've got no money, but you don't want to let good property deals slip from your fingertips and just get paid a few £1,000s as a finder's fee? What I did was I contacted somebody that I knew. This person had money, they had no idea about property investing, but they did want to invest. They were frustrated with their money sat in the bank earning them no return, and they trusted me, they knew my reputation and experience as a property investor. So I said, I found this property, if you put the money in, which is about £39,000 plus refurb, you're talking about £50,000. If you put the money in, what we'll do is we can have a joint venture whereby we'll get 50% of any of the future capital appreciation on the property and 50-50 profit on the rent. You put the money in, the money that you put in is yours, but any profits down the line on that property is 50-50. What do you think? They were up for it because 50% of this deal was more than 100% of a deal that they could find. So what am I bringing to the table? I'm bringing to the table expertise, great property deals, bargain prices, high return. What are they bringing to the table? Well, they're bringing to the table all of the money. For me, no down payment. That property now has been making £1,000 a month, 500 for me, 500 for them. Capital appreciation's gone up really well. I think it's gone up by almost £100,000. 50,000 for me, 50,000 for them. How much did I put down? Nada! Nothing! No down payment! So that's one way. Joint venture. The other end of the table, because some people might say, Samuel, that's mean. You shouldn't have taken 50% just for finding the deal. No, it's not. I've been on the other end of the table. I had one of my students come to me and say, Samuel, I found a deal. The deal was a fantastic deal. It needed very little money in, about £16,000. That's all they need to put in. They said to me, Samuel, can you lend me the £16,000? And they offered to give me 10%. I said, I don't want 10%. I don't want to give you 16,000 to get 10%. 10% is very, very weak. The property was getting a lot more than 20%, so I said, look, how about this? You found the property, it's a great property, it's in your area, you know the area, you are planning on managing the property and everything like that. How about this? I'll put the 16,000 in. I'll put all the money in. You just manage it and do what you need to do with it. You found it, you take complete responsibility of it, and we'll go 50-50 on the profits. They were delighted. Sometimes I might put all the money in, other times I might put no money in. The bottom line is you do not need money to buy property. You need knowledge, you need experience, you need the ability to act and implement what you're learning as well. So that's joint ventures. Again, if you do this, make sure you do it properly. Make sure you have a solicitor draw up the contracts. There's ways you can do this whereby you can set up a company where you own the company together. Some of you have 100% A shares, some of you have 100% B shares. So depending on who put the money, it depends on who gets what shares. It's very simple, but you do need to know what you're doing. So what I would say is if you're ready to take action, if you're ready to buy properties but you haven't got a lot of money, get the knowledge, read the books, watch all the videos on this YouTube channel, come and join me at a property investors crash course. But whatever you do, don't take yourself out of the game because you can do this regardless of where you are right now. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. There's a lot of ways to buy property without using any money, so do check out some of the other videos that we have in our playlists, and also don't forget to subscribe, whack that notification button so you never miss a video. Thank you so much.